Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Let me know that you guys can hear me and I'm coming in clear and loud. Or as they say, loud and clear. I got my RM my RE20 hooked up tonight. Yes, sir. Let me before I bring in our guest, Afro Whale, fight the good fight, Michigan Dippa. Fat Pinhead, how are you? Don Morton, Quentin loves trains and horror. Hobgoblin's here. Nuclear's here. The Dancing Nick is here. Matthew Gibb is here. Let's see. Ryan OG. Katrina, how are you? Blu-ray Addict, how are you? Don Morton. Sean Sr., how are you? Ryan, how are you? Kaylin, what's up, buddy? How are you? Who else we got? Ivan Page, how are you? Pagan, how are you? Excuse me. Don Morton, how are you? Stone Gassman, how are you? Alexis, how are you? Jessica Andrews, how are you? Michael Sullivan, how are you? It's good to see everybody in here tonight. So we got Brandon. I needed to introduce him because he's the new and improved. The new and improved Brandon. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome for America's own, America's son. Look at him, guys. He's stunning. Look at him.
In full HD.
Dude, you look great. I'm so impressed.
Appreciate it. It took me 6 hours to put this together.
I love it, dude. Look how good it looks. The audience is going crazy right now.
I had no tape, so I had to lick the wall several times to get everything to stick properly.
Tell me, let me put you up close. Let's show the people what we got going on real quick. All right, let's see. Let me do a little solo layout. All right, Brandon. So give us a tour. Give us a tour.
Okay, so I have the Monster World magazine cover blown up as a poster of the Glenn Strange Frankenstein mask.
Yeah.
I have a very pixelated Frankenstein meets Wolfman poster here on the left.
Have you seen that movie, by the way?
No, I had not for a long time, but I have seen it, yeah. Is it in the collection, the Universal Blu-ray collection? Because I haven't opened that up and watched anything yet. I'm hoping it's in there.
The Blu-ray collection that I have is a UK one, which I'm assuming you're talking about the same one, maybe not. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just the mainstays, the main original films.
We have the tried and true Neighborhood Watch poster, which is always on the podcast, always on these shows. We have another Glenn Strange behind-the-scenes photo here. We have a very awesome Fun World mask, Ferocious Fangs.
How old is that?
This is actually only about 6-7 years old. I went to Party City, and they had like 10 of these things on sale for like $4 a piece. So I bought all of them.
Really?
Thinking they were worth a lot more at the time, and they weren't because they didn't sell it all on eBay. So I have a whole wall full of these in the bedroom. And then we have the Kane Hodder signed hockey mask up here. I made this a couple of years ago. Kane signed it at Spooky Empire. I lost it, and then 2-3 days ago, I found it. So
how'd you lose that?
I put them all, the hockey masks that we made that I have left that I haven't sold, I put them all away for safekeeping. And I guess I just forgot where they were. And the other night when I was digging out video games and stuff, I found them in the top of some closet at the very tip top, like when I even had to reach way up high. So I found them. I'm like, yeah, it's weird. Because we were just talking about how I couldn't find that damn thing like a week ago.
It looks good.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Now, did you build that whole thing? Did you, what's the process of doing something like that? You said you made that one.
I buy blanks. They're usually made of ABS plastic. You can buy fiberglass ones too, but they're more expensive. And this is ABS plastic. I think I got this blank. I think this came from JDF Studios. He was the guy who made a bunch of, you could buy blank Jason masks, chevrons, perma-blood paint, whatever you need, straps, whatever you needed to make Jason masks via kits.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty sure this is one of the last ones I bought from him before he went out of business. He stopped doing it. But I have like 15 of these things in my closet now that are just clear plastic. I have a whole box of straps, a whole box of accessories, rivets, chevrons. Because I have like I think I have the whole set now, the whole franchise. I need to repaint again. I bought them with the intention of doing a bunch of videos about them, like how-tos. So I'll probably do that.
Very cool. Yeah, like I said, dude, the people love it.
They do.
The people love it. Now, is this final? Or are we going to be making some fine-tune adjustments to it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, you can see the edge of my desktop sticking out. That's kind of got to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I'm kind of digging the coziness of this.
I am too.
Yeah. It's like it's got a really 90s flair to it, like a 90s Halloween shop.
Do you know what the best thing is? I love the neighborhood watch with Jason Jason Goes Straight to Hell.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh man. Well, before we get into tonight's show, which guys, it's just a random show, I'm gonna be trying the Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Uh-oh, he's reaching. Have you tried it already?
Oh, it's like a flashback.
All right, here we go. It's my first one.
It tastes to me just how it did years ago when they first released the first one.
All right. Halloween came early this year.
It did.
Oh, cheers, dude. That's good.
Yes. Also, I forgot. Thanks, Shannon, for reminding me. Here's the baby Lego Frankenstein, if anybody can see him up here.
You want to grab him? Or is he?
I can't. He's taped delicately to the tower.
Okay. Oh, dude, let me show you this. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Dave, who, if you've been watching CHH for a while, my intro used to be the Jason 6 tombstone, and it said CHH lives.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Now I've got my very own.
That's awesome.
So this is a staple of the collection now. So every time I do videos, I got to make sure it's in frame. My CHH lives tombstone.
Yeah.
So Brandon, I guess we could start tonight. Guys, again, if you have questions tonight, please feel free. This is a BS show. This is a show for you guys, the audience. Hey, Kevin L., how are you? Brandon, I've been watching In Search of Darkness Part 3. Which I know you said you haven't checked any of them out yet. You are aware of what they are, though.
Yes, correct.
Now, do you own any of them, or is it just on Shudder that you know is where you can find them?
I only know about the Shudder thing. I kept meaning to, like, every time a sequel would come out, I was like, I'm going to jump on that fundraising thing and become a patron so I can get my copies easily that way. And then I just forget about it and never do. So this is what, the 4th iteration. There's 3 of those, and there's the In Search of the Future or whatever the hell it's called.
Tomorrow.
Right.
And let me tell you something.
4 of those.
I'm going to tell you this. I have to finish In Search of Darkness 3. In Search of Tomorrow, the sci-fi one, in my opinion, outperformed both In Search of Darkness parts 1 and 2. In Search of Darkness 1 is not bad, but it goes over a lot of mainstay horror. They do some deeper cuts because of the people they interviewed that made movie. Like, for instance, they had Larry Cohen on part 1, which, rest in peace. I love Larry Cohen, one of the greatest ever. But he passed away after doing part 1, but he was in part 1. And in part 1, they talked about some of his movies, like Full Moon High, as a matter of fact. So they covered stuff like that. Part 2, they dipped into Italian. But so far, part 3 is great because I'm learning about this film called Blood Beach that I am dying to see, but apparently it hasn't jumped from VHS because of licensing fiascos. The movie is just lost in license rights and companies going under, getting subsidized, and then those companies getting absorbed by bigger companies. So the licensing for Blood Beach is a train wreck, apparently. So it's only released on VHS, but this movie Blood Beach looks absolutely fantastic. And for the people in the chat right now, In Search of Darkness is on Shudder as we speak. I was watching a little bit of it beforehand, and it's 5 hours long, so it's by far the longest one.
Wow.
But certainly check them out. They're comfort television.
Yeah.
So fun to listen to people talk about these movies. And my boy, Charlie Band, is in Search of Darkness 3. He's in it. They're talking about all of his movies. They're talking about the VHS revolution, which Charlie started the whole thing. So I'm really, really enjoying part 3. And there's also In Search of the Last Action Heroes, which is good.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend In Search of Tomorrow, and then the one after this I would recommend is In Search of Darkness Part 3, because it's In Search of Darkness 3 so far is a bigger improvement from 1 and 2. I feel it's very, very cool, and they go into video nasties. They're covering movies like Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker, which I have to see this movie.
Mm.
I have to see this movie, Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker. It looks phenomenal. And I mean, it looks like a really good movie. I've heard the title, but I thought it was some crappy thing. But no. This looks like a damn good film. So I'm actually writing things down, and I'm going to pick up some of these movies from this. So I highly recommend it. I think you'll absolutely adore them. I really do.
Yeah, I guess I need to get Shudder, man. I keep putting that off. But I
They
feel
can
like I
use
need
your
to get
help
Shudder.
right now. They can use your help right now. Shudder basically got aborted from AMC, I believe. Not AMC, or was it AMC? Yeah, they were owned by a bigger company, and now that whoever they were owned by, they separated themselves. So Shudder is its own little thing now. So whatever support you can give them, please do. It's cheap. It's a couple bucks a month. They have a great documentary catalog too. I was watching this one on George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, and it talking really about the importance of the film and what it did to society, its importance, how many movies were directly inspired. Because, like, if you took away Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't happen. And that's out of Toby's mouth. Toby said, I watched Night of Living Dead, and I said, I have got to make this film in the 70s, for the 70s. I've got to change the world in the 70s. And he obviously did. But he gives credit to seeing Night of the Living Dead at the drive-thru. That's why I always tell people, like, watch Night of the Living Dead, the original. Don't just treat it like a legacy film and say, oh, yeah, it's great. But like, really, why? It's still a damn good movie. I love the original Night. But there's great you'll love it. The documentary section is insane. Absolutely insane. So,
yeah.
That might be it, Saturn Video. People are saying Butcher Baker's good.
You know what? Speaking of Night of the Living Dead, I've been meaning to ask you something. I'll be right back.
All right. Let me see what you people are saying. Is there a way I can watch In Search of the Last Action Heroes? Excuse me. Jesus Christ. This is good, by the way. Pitch Black. I don't know. PlayStation 9. I think it's the only way you can see it is a disc format right now. So disc format may be the only way at this moment in time.
Christian, do you have this?
Hold on. Let me pull you up. Let me see that. What is that? Is that a 2-disc Night of the Living Dead?
Collector's 2 VHS Night of the Living Dead.
No, that's beautiful. I've got some really, really nice Laserdisc versions, but I don't. Is that a widescreen presentation?
Isn't that weird? Let me see here. It's not saying on the box. I got this way back in the 90s, I think. I'm pretty sure this came from Walmart.
It's beautiful. I've got the Blockbuster Presents Night of the Living Dead, which I love that VHS. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is it has the movie. It doesn't say widescreen or not on it. It just has the movie. But the second VHS tape is the Night of the Living Dead 25th anniversary documentary, 60 minutes long.
Oh, yes, that's a great documentary.
Okay,
Dude,
is it?
So good. Yeah. Oh, man, that's a classic. That's a beautiful release. Yeah.
It's weird. I've never seen anybody else have this. And I'm like, where the fuck? Like,
there's a number of Night of the Living Dead VHS releases. I mean, odds are some of the more expensive ones people probably didn't own because they just figured, oh, I've already got it because of the non-license or the public domain problem.
Yeah. And this has this weird thing on it saying officially licensed by the film's creators. Strange, man. Very strange.
Yeah.
Very fucking weird.
That is beautiful.
I had to bring that up while we were talking about it.
That's why physical media rules. That's cool to Tabata Vision. Let's see. Guys, if you got any questions for us, I don't really have anywhere to go tonight. Just have a good time and talk about whatever. Brendan, what do you got on your mind while we wait for some questions?
I don't know. There's so much to discuss.
Well, what's coming up on Tabata Vision?
There's a shit ton of Just the Thoughts I'm getting scheduled. Maybe not next week, but probably the week after that. Stuff will start trickling in. So I'm trying to get a big bulk of stuff scheduled for a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 videos a week for at least a month or 2 straight.
Right.
I'm trying to get all that done. So that's, like I said, probably not next week, but the week after. So
I want to credit you for your remastered playlist, man. It's so good. I was sometimes when I need like a playlist just to listen to when running, I'll pull up the I was gonna say the generalized playlist. I pull up the remasters, and dude, they sound so good in my headphones. My favorite is "Alone in the Night" from Leatherwolf that you did for part 2, because that song is incredibly hard to listen to officially.
yeah.
Like I have the part 2 vinyl soundtrack, and it's on there. Def Jam, Def Island, whatever records is who put it out. But you can't stream that song like Leatherwolf's on their Spotify and stuff like it. It's just not there,
Mhm.
and it's hard to listen to a good quality version of it. So that remaster just fucking slams, dude.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old version is hard to listen to. It's like all treble and very flat treble too.
Yeah. Same
So,
thing with same exact thing with Soldiers of the Night too. Very thin sounding, but you fix that. It slams now.
appreciate it. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with how those are turning out. So
Let's see what people are saying. I think we got some questions. Let's see. Let me start from a good spot. Blu-ray Addict asks, "Do you guys like American Pie?"
yes.
Me too. I love the first one. I don't remember the order of all of them. Isn't one of them called American Pie Band Camp or something? Or
Yeah, there was I've never seen those, but there's like a spin-off straight to video series. There's like 5 of those. There's Bandcamp, there's Beta House, and there's 2 or 3 other ones I've never seen, but I think they all have new cast members, but I think the dad is in those movies. I think that's the only holdover, Jim's dad.
yeah,
But the mainline franchise is fucking killer. I love all 4 of those films. There's 4, right? Yeah, 4.
Kelso, man, that's like the definition of the late '90s is Kelso. He defines the late '90s. What a character.
Kelso or Stifler?
Stifler.
Damn it, Christian. Both when you think about it.
Stifler, who I was thinking of, but
Yeah.
Kelso's now I know Kelso. Yeah, dude, Stifler is the best. I love him. Wasn't Stifler in that movie? I don't know if you've seen it. It was the guy who did Donnie Darko did a movie after that called damn it, Arrow put it out. I have it. I need to watch it.
What year was it?
2006.
It wasn't Goon, was it?
No, it's got a weird title. Somebody in the chat will say it. Do you prefer Night of the Living Dead original or the remake?
I prefer the remake. We're talking about the Savini remake, right? Definitely remake, I think.
Yes. I can't choose, man. They're just such on an even playing field for me. I love them so much. The DNA of the original is very much in the remake because, you know, guys like my boy John Russo was on set helping Savini all the time, who wrote it, the movie, wrote the book. So the DNA is in that film so much.
Well, okay, so take away the legacy aspect of the original film and what it means to horror overall. Which movie could you watch more often? Which one do you return to more?
The same. I mean, I'm not bullshitting. Equally as fun. I love Barbara is like super frightened in the first one, and she's just in pure shock. It's very realistic to me. But I also appreciate 90s Barbara that says, no, I'm fixing to whip somebody's ass. You know, I prefer, I like both of them. Because it's a tie, I'll go original, but it really is just a tie. But because the original comes first, because it's a tie, I'll give the pick to the original.
Now, while we're talking about zombies, favorite Grudge film. You want to take that first?
Not a big Grudge fan at all.
Same. I don't like any of those fucking movies, if we're being honest.
No, I like I guess the original Japan one. I was not a big fan of that 2020 movie that came out. Although the trailer looked phenomenal for it. The trailer looked so good, but then the movie was just confusing. It was time jumps everywhere. I wasn't digging it.
What
And
is the Japanese version called? Ju-on or something like that?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's exactly it. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the Ring movies either.
That movie
I kind
scared
of,
the piss out of me as a kid, dude. The American Ring.
yeah, the only sequence that was kind of sketchy was the closet scene where it shows the babysitter's mouth open. That was a pretty freaky sequence. But
That movie ruined me. To be honest with you, I was terrified by the Ring.
yeah,
Let's talk hidden gems. Okay. Well, my hidden gem is a movie I haven't seen, but I saw people say it's awesome. I got to see Blood Beach, man. Uh, the gentleman who plays Uncle Paulie from the Rocky films is in Blood Beach. Uncle Paulie, he's in Blood Beach, man. How could it be bad? He's a great actor, though.
mm-hmm.
In Amityville 2, he was he's a great pissed off father. Especially when the mom brings the priest over to the house. Oh man, he is angry. She's freaking like, "Don't be upset, don't be upset," and you could see him just raging that she brought the priest to the house without telling him. Great actor.
You know, that's a series I need to go all the way through. At least the official series. I know there's like 100 spin-off movies because there's like, anybody can use the Amityville name. But the official line of films, I need to go through all of them because I can't remember a damn thing about Amityville 2 onwards. I remember bits and pieces of Dollhouse. That's about it.
Dollhouse is phenomenal.
Yeah. Because that was the 90s one, right?
94 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been 96, actually. 4, 5, or 6. It's very, very... Because you can tell the difference between late 90s.
Mm.
You can tell if it's early 90s, mid 90s, and late 90s. There's the very distinct feel for all three. 91 through 93 feels very 80s.
Yep.
94 through 96 is true 90s to me. And then late 90s is what to kind of bring up with somebody's area. To me, late 90s, aesthetic wise, is pure American Pie 90s vibe. Yeah. It's very insane, the drastic turnaround from the early 90s to the late 90s. The style wise too, very drastic.
I agree.
But I think the absolute greatest Amityville film is Amityville 2, The Possession. I think it's phenomenal. It goes. I like the original Amityville. I guess you could call it a quote unquote slow burn. I don't like saying that because I feel like that's just an excuse. Because I think a movie is either interesting or not. To be honest with you, that's the way I look at it. But to say that about the film, I really wouldn't argue with people if they call it that. I find the film very interesting, and it's great performances. But part 2, stuff happens in that movie. Crazy stuff happens in that movie. Diane Franklin's fantastic in the film. There's a great brother-sister sexual angle that comes in when you least expect it. It's just like, oh my God, like where is this movie going? It's the real deal. Great performances, stellar performances. I want to watch it right now. It's that damn good.
Do they have a box set of all of them on Blu-ray or no?
Well, there was a Scream Factory one, but I think it's pseudo out of print. I don't know if it's a license problem. It may still be available. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Amityville 2. Amityville 3D is a damn good movie, I think. I really like Amityville 3D, which came out a couple years after that. It's gimmicky, but I actually find some of the sequences in that. There's a great sequence where they find like this tunnel pool thing, and this Demogorgon beast comes out of it and brings the dead down with them. And it's just like, holy shit. Like there's some good stuff in Amityville 3D, as it were.
Right.
And those 90s ones are good. 1992, Amityville 1992 is fantastic. Dollhouse is fantastic. You're going to enjoy them. I think you'll actually enjoy them a lot. So,
yeah, I need to catch up on those for sure. I'm really curious about them. And as much as I hate to say this, I really want to watch the Children of the Corn series front to back.
Dude, 2 and 3 are great.
I love 2. Actually, no, I love 3 and 4. I can't remember much about part 2.
Isaac's Return? Is that 4?
No, 4 is The Gathering.
The Gathering.
I think it was the first straight-to-video sequel. And Karen Black's in it. It's an awesome movie, man.
It is.
Great atmosphere.
The
Yeah.
thing I love about Children of the Corn. Hello to everybody in here. We got 97 people in here tonight. How's everybody doing? Drop a like on the show if you don't mind, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Children of the Corn 3 is hysterical in the sense that they're in Chicago and this kid just gets a patch of dirt between two buildings and starts growing corn. But 2 has a great opening sequence, man. That POV shot of like under the crawl space of some house where it's like in a closet in like the woods and you pan to this dead parent or dead adult. Dude, it's creepy shit.
The only thing I remember about 2 is seeing it on VHS as a kid and seeing the part. There's like a bad CG part where the guy's blood turns black or something.
Something like that, yeah.
That's the only thing I remember from that
dude,
movie.
I'd grab it. I don't want to have to get up, but I'll send you the link for this after the video's over. I bought the Arrow Video trilogy, Blu-ray trilogy of Children of the Corn 1, 2, and 3. Big, beautiful hard box, big chunky cases for each film. It's a badass release, dude, for 1 through 3.
Nice.
But we need a big box set. We need Vinegar Syndrome to get the rights to 1 through 6. I think that would be good because I think they kept making some, but I think up until
like 9
Isaac's,
of them, right?
I think maybe 5 is Isaac's Return.
I think
can't
5
remember.
is Fields of Terror. I think 6 is Isaac's Return because it was 666.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
I think a box set for 1 through 6 would be fine.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. What about the Full Circle Haunting of Julia released by Scream Factory? Awesome. How you doing, Verg-Hosh? My buddy Lauren has praised Haunting of Julia, calling it a masterpiece and one of the scariest films he's ever seen. So that's a day one for me, The Haunting of Julia. I will be getting that from Scream Factory without question. Without question. So have you heard about that, Brandon? Haunting of Julia?
I have not heard about that.
It's a 70s horror film from the late 70s, 77.
I saw somebody asked if we had seen The Entity. And I don't know about you, Christian. Have you seen that movie?
It's one of the greatest 80s horror films I've ever seen.
That movie's about an incubus, right? There's like a rape scene where it rapes the woman in bed or something like that. Or am I thinking of something else?
It's very difficult to watch.
Right.
Well, maybe not very difficult, but dude, it's just like you're putting on this fun 80s horror film. The poster's kind of cute. You know, the poster's just kind of like this cute little thing. It's like The Entity and these bubbly letters and a bright, fun green background. Like that's the poster. And then this movie takes you for a ride straight into hell. The Entity is a fantastic film. Oh, I think we had a super chat. Let me see. Let me see what we got. Let me get that before I lose it. Damn it. Where's it at?
Yeah, so that was a pretty fucked up movie. I need to see that again for sure.
Did I lose it?
I didn't see a super chat.
There it is. Stone.
Oh, there it is. That's the Entity one.
Thank you so much, Stone. Sorry, my computer's working fine, but sometimes the notifications for the super chats take a while to pop up. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Stone, for the $5. He says, have you seen the hidden gem, The Entity, starring Barbara Hershey? It's number 4 on Scorsese's Scariest Above the Oscars. Wow. Well, yeah, like just to reiterate, Scream Factory put out a Blu-ray for that. That's ripe for a 4K. But I think it's a damn good movie. Yeah, they talked about that on In Search of Darkness too. Grab a pen and paper though, Brandon, because you'll sure to hear about some movies that you haven't seen before in those, and you'll be like, "Oh, I got to see this. I got to check this out."
Are they made? Is the not to talk about the series again, but the In Search of Darkness thing? Are those made by the same filmmakers who did the Crystal Lake documentary and the Nightmare on Elm Street thing?
No, I believe this is VC Creator is the name of the company. I could be off on that. That was 1428 Films.
Right, that's true. You're right.
I actually prefer the production quality of the In Search of Darknesses, to be honest with you. It's something very classy, but still they have a great vibe to these. That's the only way I can put it. I really dig the vibe from this In Search of Dark. They use cool backgrounds when people are talking. They get really interesting people like Corey Taylor from Slipknot, who's a big 80s horror fan. And you could tell, like, Brandon, he's like the real deal. He's talking about the soundtrack from Fastway and digging that and blah, blah, blah. Like, and he's in part 3 as well, but I think they interviewed him about all kinds of shit. And then they're repurposing segments for different parts if they talk about certain movies from part 2 as opposed to part 3. So, I'm gonna give that dude a 8.5 out of 10. I think it's really good.
Isn't it fantastic?
It's good. It's getting better as I try. Thank you again, Stone. I really appreciate the $5 super chat.
Real quick about Pitch Black. It's weird because we had Pitch Black 1, 2, 3, 4 over the last decade, right? Like on and off. And then they used to be the Halloween flavors. Remember that? Like they were like Halloween exclusive flavors. And then they started doing the voodoo ones.
Right.
It's weird that Pitch Black is suddenly this random winter drink. And it's not even Pitch Black 5. It's just Pitch Black. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
But it's fantastic.
We got Big Money Pizzle in the house. What's up, Pizzle?
What's up,
Good to
Piz?
see you. Piz, I had a great time the other night. It's always fun to get Piz on and get him to talk about stuff that I haven't heard him talk about before. So, dude, I really enjoyed, and people want more of that. They really enjoyed talking about the abandoned buildings, and people want me to go back. I got some messages like, dude, you should go back to the school and film it. I said, you think this is a game? You think I'm... No, put that finger down. Put that finger down.
Not only should you have to now.
Yeah, I can't. I'm terrified.
Live stream it in case you get killed. We can all watch.
Dude, it's not a joke. When I say it's scary, I mean it's scary.
I believe you, but you have to go back. You have to. Everybody who thinks that Christian has to go back as an obligation, say I in the chat. Watch this.
Mark, this is Mark Allen. What's going on, dude? Mark's the guy that hooked me up with his old dusty PS4. It wasn't dusty. He just said it's sitting there collecting dust. But Mark, I can't say how much I appreciate it. Now I'm ready for TCM. I've been playing Friday the 13th every night. It's been a blessing. Ali, what's up, man? Any tips on how to prepare for my board exam? I just graduated PT. That means physical therapy, right, Brandon?
I think so.
I just graduated PT school, and I know you had to take a board exam for nursing, which is okay. I should probably read the whole thing before I start asking you questions, right? Ali, first of all, God bless. Thank you for the super chat. First of all, Ali, I've talked to you. We've spoken over the phone because you've done it in the call-in shows. You're clearly a bright, intelligent guy. I got nothing but respect for you, number one. You're going to kill it already. But, Ali, I'm going to tell you something, and trust the process. I failed my clinical the first time I took it. I was super nervous. I was prepared. I psyched myself out. Trust the process, trust your instincts, and go in relaxed as you can be, man. Be confident. You know you're smart. You know you've got it, man. Don't stress yourself out because guess what? Stress does nothing but just add more stress. Because if you stress, then you're stressed out that you're stressed out. That's a double negative. You don't need that. You're smart. You've got it, man. You're already ready. I know you're ready because you're a smart dude. You're going to kill it. But hey, guess what? I failed it. I failed my clinical the first time. I got back on my feet. I studied again, and I went into the test this time, and I said, look, I'm just going to take the damn test. I'm not going to freak out about it. Guess what? I passed it, and I passed it so well that I got when you pass the clinical really well, they let you know right away if you passed it. The second time I took that test, Ali, I passed it, and I found out immediately, you passed. You did good. So you've got it, man. You're going to kill it. Just do your thing, man. You're a smart dude. I know you've got it. And congratulations again for graduating physical therapy school, man. That's fucking awesome. You're killing it. God bless, dude. Let's see. Let's see what people are saying. CHH must stop the cult. Dude, maybe I should do like that show called Deadstream did. You need to see that movie, Brandon. That was a great movie.
Which one?
Deadstream. It's on Shudder. Mark Allen did say he said the NCIS movie I have had on the list to watch for years. Every time I think about watching it, I pass. I need to just pull the trigger and watch it. Mark, you need to. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not talking to you directly, Mark. Whenever I hear people complain that, oh, this movie has this kind of, they go in this direction or they have this direction, I don't approve of that or I don't like that kind of stuff. And you know the stuff I'm referring to, incest or violation type stuff. I understand that. Of course, I don't like that stuff in real life. I wish it didn't exist. But I also, and I don't know how you feel, Brandon, you can give your 2 cents on this too. movies like The New York Ripper that not only go into some stuff like that, but press it. And there's others I could think of. For me, it's the horror genre, and I never want there to be a boundary that we should be afraid to go into to get, because it's cinema. It's just not real. And for me, when I want to watch there's times where I want to watch fun horror movies because, like Brandon, if I'm in a good mood, I'm throwing on Night of the Creeps every day of the week, and it's just going to boost me up. But sometimes when I want to take that dark trip, I like to watch those movies. I like to watch those movies that take me to a place that I get out of, and I say, "Thank God I'm in this reality now." I just enjoy that for me personally, and it's an interesting roller coaster ride for me. So I always say, if somebody says you don't need to watch this movie, dude, it's effed up, watch it. Take that trip. It's an interesting trip to take. So I like having no rules in horror. I don't know if you agree with that, but I like having no rules in horror. Go for it. Make your film. Don't be afraid of what people are going to think.
I would agree with that. Yeah, do whatever you want in horror because it is all fake. It's make believe. I don't think movies influence serial killers or make people into serial killers. I don't believe in that crap at all. My thing personally is I just don't want to see little kids and babies getting chopped up or mutilated or raped in horror movies. Some people are okay with that boundary being broken. That's the one thing I'm just always like, It makes you feel dirty and uncomfortable to watch that kind of stuff in horror movies.
Yeah.
Not that that's, people, like, it goes back to my my Halloween 2018 argument about there's a lot of people who wanted him to kill the baby in the crib because it would make him more evil and stuff like that. I'm like, I get that thought. I just don't want to see it because that's a little bit too I don't even know what the phrase would be, viscerally real, uncomfortably real. But it also is make believe and fake. So I get both arguments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that from my point of view.
Right. Ali says that's the motivation I need to put these hours in with studying. It's $750 to take the exam. You got it, brother. You got it. You got it. Trust the process, man. Put in the work, and you got it. Let's see. What is the most prominent horror film that you still have not seen? That's a good question. It's a really good question. It's getting harder and harder to give an answer for that now.
The most prominent horror film that you have not seen. Now, does that mean from like a pop culture perspective, like the zeitgeist, like something that's in the zeitgeist of horror, or like just?
Yeah, I would say so. It's difficult. It's really difficult. See, I've knocked off a number of films like that in the last couple of years. Like, about 2 years ago, I saw maybe a year ago, I saw Eraserhead for the first time, and it
Yeah.
rocked my socks. It's one of
That's a jacked up movie, man.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Without question, I'll tell you, what's the best David Lynch film to me? To me, it's Eraserhead. I love Blue Velvet. I love what else has he done that's cool? Mulholland Drive. I've grown to really appreciate some of the dark scenes in that. But I think Eraserhead is just this literal fever dream. You don't know where the hell this movie's going. And if you try to figure it out, he goes the other way on you. So Eraserhead, I think, is one of those prominent films that I finally saw that I hadn't seen. But it's hard to say. If I think of something later, Virg, I'll mention it. You too, Brandon. If just something pops in your head, just shout it out.
All right.
Let's see what people are saying. Any more questions? Let them rip, guys. Nathan says he hasn't seen Smile. Ali says most overrated franchise in horror. It's The Conjuring for me, man. Way overrated. That's an interesting question. Most overrated franchise in horror. Take it away, Brendan.
Most overrated franchise in horror? Oof. Come back to me on that one. I got to think about that. There's 3 choices I could choose from, I think. You go first.
It's a damn good question.
No matter what, we're going to piss people off, I think, no matter what we say.
Yeah, it's tough. I could tell you what I think the best franchise in the world is. To me, it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. To Brandon, it's probably Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Overrated, though.
I wouldn't say.
I'm assuming he means like modern era franchise, right?
Not necessarily, just franchise in general.
Just the most overrated.
I take the question at face value. Just in general, what's a horror franchise that you think is overrated? I think the Puppet Master franchise is good, but nobody touts that as being a great franchise. Most people just agree, oh, stick with the Paramount Puppet Masters, meaning 1 through 5. You could even throw in Curse of the Puppet Master. But most people agree those are fun films. I'm a diehard, obviously, but even I don't say it's a great horror franchise. So you can't say that Puppet Master is overrated. It's anything but overrated. Damn it, that is a hell of a question. Let's come back to that.
Yeah, let's come back to that.
Great question, Ali.
Ooh, PlayStation 9 has a good answer. The Paranormal Activity series. I'm not a fan of that franchise at all.
I hate to get technical with definition, but who has ever said that's the best franchise to begin with? So in that aspect, how could you call it overrated? I've never seen anybody say it's the best franchise ever or it's that great.
Well, those first few films were pretty big hits, right? Like they really captured, I think, that
that's what Paramount does best, man.
Yeah, I think that's because everybody, at least in our part of the world, was talking about Paranormal Activity, this and that, and it was like a big phenomenon, right?
I mean, Paranormal Activity was the death knell for Saw. You look at what happened in 2009 when Saw 6 came out. You were already getting fatigue from the audiences. They were still making money, but Part 6 came out. Paranormal Activity stomped a mud hole in Saw. And then the next year when Part 2 came out, Saw the final chapter was going to be the bigger. They pulled out all the stops, Brandon. 3D, Chester Bennington as a cameo in the film. That's right. Bigger traps. You're not going to believe what happens. Dude, I remember the marketing campaign for Saw 3D, and I'm sure if the chat does as well, they'll tell you they pulled out all the stops for the marketing for Saw 3D. You couldn't escape it, Brandon. Anywhere you went, you saw promotion for Saw, the final chapter, Saw 3D. Paranormal Activity 2 wiped the floor with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's why my answer is it's overrated, because I feel like it's so overblown and overhyped. I don't think the movies are that good. My answer would have been Conjuring series, but I haven't seen all those. I haven't seen all the Paranormal Activities either, though. So I guess that's the only 2 I can think of, though.
Let me get to the super chats and I'll come back and read what people are saying, because I'm actually really interested in seeing what people say about most overrated. Dino, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Dino. Congrats again, all your success, man. I'm so proud of you. I really am. Just for watching Eraserhead. Thank you, Dino. Well, Dino, I know you've got good taste besides hobgoblins, but other than that, you're a lovely human being. Thank you, Dino. Stone. Let me pull up Stone. Stone with another $5 super chat. God bless. Oh, Creasefold. God bless. $2 super chat from Creasefold. How you doing, man? How's the weather up there? And where you from, Creasefold? New York. God bless, man. Evening. Having a good chat tonight. Stone with another $5. God bless, Stone. What horror films in 2023 are you looking forward to watching? Mom is probably Ty West's. What the hell are you drinking, Brandon?
I'm opening my Pitch Black.
Oh, really?
Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
What horror films in 2023 are you looking forward to watching? Mine is probably Ty West's Maxine with Mia Goth. Also hate Paranormal Activity. Thank you again, Stone. Well, you and Brandon are the same there. I would say my most looked forward to film of 2023 is going to be a film starring the one and only Nicolas Cage, and that movie is called Renfield. That is my number one. I know Pizal feels the same if he's still here. Brandon, I think you're excited for Evil Dead Rise.
Not as much as I thought I was going to be. The trailer looks cool. I'm into it. I will see it. Probably not in theaters, but I'm just not as blown away by the trailer as I hoped I would be. I'm sure it'll be good though. It just looks good. I think I'm most excited about Saw X though. I'm just curious about what it's going to be.
Right.
I'm not a fan of the mid-cool aspect of it, but I'm really curious about what Saw X is going to be and why they're calling it Saw X. Like, is that going to be a plot point? Because Jigsaw and Spiral aren't really the same kind of film.
No.
So it's going to be weird to see how that play, if they even play off of that at all.
My worry is that they're going to overcomplicate things more. I think it's very simple. Have great dialogue from Tobin Bell and have some killer traps. I personally think that's all you need.
I just hope it's not. I hope it justifies its existence within the overall story. I just don't want it to be an excuse to have Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith back for a movie. I want it to play some kind of bigger picture within the franchise that blows our fucking balls off. You know what I mean? Something we never saw before or talked about.
So that, to me, it sounds like you wouldn't call Saw an overrated franchise then, because I saw some people in the chat. I saw some people in the chat say that Saw is an overrated franchise.
I think Saw, and I'm personally kind of sick of the Saw movies because I watched them so much, and we were so saturated with them at the time.
Bet you against though.
But I feel like Saw might have been overrated because so many people pushed it so hard. Just for the I hate this phrase, but the torture porn aspect and the gore and the fact that they came out every year. I think a lot of people embrace those films. And I think in that regard, it was maybe overrated. But I feel like the Saw franchise as a whole is actually underappreciated for the wrong reasons. If that makes any sense.
Well, you know, you look back at that era, we were in the midst of a war. People were angry. People all had ideas of justice. And I feel like those Saw films, in a way, were giving us that. And it was in movies that were internalizing all of our angst in the world and seeing people get hurt in some sick way. But it was also a movie about bad people getting hurt, as messed up as that sounds. And I think that those movies just captured the general public at the time. I mean, I really think it did. And I think it's a soap opera. I've said it before. Brandon, you're like a half a generation ahead of me. What are you, 35, 36?
I'm 35.
35? Okay, I'm 30. So you basically graduated high school right when I started it.
Mm.
That's my Friday the 13th, because those movies were soap operas. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. That's my era's Friday the 13th. And I can tell you, Brandon, the girls in my class, they were going to see these movies because it was bigger than the horror fans. It was, hey, the next Saw movie just came out. Let's all have a date and go together and see it. Like, it captured the world the same way Friday the 13th probably did, you know? Because when people were saying the quote unquote slasher genre was dipping in the mid 80s, well, guess who wasn't dipping that much? Was Jason. So I think it's one of those things. And I actually think in another 10, 20 years, we're going to look back at Saw as, I think it's only going to go up in popularity. I think Saw is going to be the next Scream. I really do, in the sense that now Scream is the new Halloween, right? And I went to Texas Frightmare, Brandon, and I'm not bullshitting. The crowd in line for Neve Campbell was 15, 16-year-old kids. They weren't even alive when she made the first Scream. Mm-hmm. But that movie has gained a bigger fan base every day. Today, I guarantee at least 50 people have become Scream fans. 50 new people have become Scream fans. I anticipate that happening with Saw. Saw is going to be the next Scream, in my opinion. I think it's going to happen. But I think they're intelligent films. I think they really are thought-provoking and, but it also, every time I bring up Saw, I don't know how you feel, it always makes me want to go back and say, but can we give credit to the movie 7?
Yes, absolutely. Especially the first Saw movie. That movie's dripping with 7 inspiration for sure.
That's a badass movie.
It's like that movie Zodiac. I fucking love that movie. Zodiac kicks all kinds of ass, but that movie feels, and obviously Fincher, right? But that movie feels totally 7 as well. That same kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what people are saying. Good questions tonight. Let's see. Garrett, how are you? Go to bed, Garrett. Garrett's got to wake up early tomorrow. He's got to train all the fat people. He's got to whip them all into shape. Steve, how are you? Greetings, gentlemen. Let's see what Katrina says about Paranormal Activity. Katrina says Paranormal Activity has a spot in my heart because I felt it was the first horror movie I showed to my teen to ease him into it. Oh, that would have ruined me. I call it baby horror. Part 2 is my favorite though, but definitely overrated. The fact that Katrina calls Paranormal Activity baby horror and it literally kept me up as a 17, 18-year-old kid makes me feel like a baby. I'm a baby. The new Evil Dead movie would be great if they announced a 4K of My Bloody Valentine. Oh, I wish they would have, Dylan, but I think Alexis was like, no, they would have done that months ago if they were.
We need to talk about Valentine. Not My Bloody Valentine, but Valentine. That new movie from Eli Roth, that interactive movie called, what is it called? Valentine's Day coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sequel to Valentine or not? Because it looks like the damn Cupid mask to me.
You know what? I don't know. It
Yeah.
could be either way. It could be a big coincidence because that's the Cupid mask, or that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. But
so I've been wanting a sequel to that movie since it came out. That movie kicks all kinds of ass.
It's a damn good film. It really is.
Fantastic.
The starkness of that black trench coat with the Cupid mask is a great look for a killer, quite frankly. And I actually prefer Valentine to Jamie Blank's other film, Urban Legend.
Oh yeah,
I think Valentine kicks a little more ass.
I agree. I'm not even a huge fan of Urban Legend, but Valentine is fantastic. The soundtrack kicks fucking ass too.
Well, have you seen Urban Legend 3 Bloody Mary?
I have not. I've only seen the first 2.
Dude, oh my god. 0% chance you don't watch it and say that's the best Urban Legend movie. You would love because it's about the legend of Bloody Mary. You know, you go in the bathroom and dude, it's a fun movie. And guess who directed it? You're gonna love this. Mary Lambert.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good.
Is there a respective Ramones song in the soundtrack?
I don't know. Let me grab this though. So there's a great company called 88 Films, and they put out this Blu-ray trilogy. It's called the Urban Legend Trilogy. And in this trilogy is a Blu-ray for Urban Legend's Bloody Mary, directed by Mary Lambert. And you'd love this movie. It's a really good movie. I actually think Urban Legend Final Cut ain't that bad. It's not great though, but I'm bummed out they did an Anaconda version of this, and I never got it. But dude, Anaconda 1 is bad to the bone.
Yep. That movie, that's a damn 90s movie right there. That movie drips with 90s. The first Anaconda.
Let's see. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. is a must watch if you haven't seen it. Great movie, Fight the Good Fight. I think Alexis was referring to your comments about Valentine's or Valentine's Day, whatever the Eli Roth movie is. So I don't think it is.
Because it sure looks like it. I'm gonna research that real fast. Eli Roth Valentine. Because when I saw that, I got all excited. I'm like, it's an interactive movie. What the hell is this? What is an interactive movie?
While you're
it's called Be Mine.
Be Mine. Antana says, Christian and Brandon, do you guys have any plans for Valentine's Day? It's in 2 weeks. Will you guys be eating a box of chocolates? That's a tradition for me. Well, guess whose birthday is on Valentine's Day? My wife's. So
nice.
That's
I guess it's not, dude. I'm looking at these photos and I'm like, this is not a sequel at all. It can't be. Anyways.
John Flesher. There he is. John says Scream is bigger now more than ever. Another franchise will do the same thing and come back. Another franchise will do the same thing and come back after years and be more popular than ever. Well, John, I think it's going to be Saw. I think the first Saw is going to be the next big thing. The Purge, Brandon. Any thoughts on the Purge franchise?
I didn't even think about the Purge, but that might be the most overrated franchise now that I'm really thinking about it.
So overrated or the biggest drop in quality?
Maybe both. I liked the Purge 1. I enjoyed
the Purge 3.
I enjoyed the Purge 2. I cannot get into part 3. I haven't seen 4 or 5.
Election Year? You don't like Election Year?
I couldn't get into it.
I thought it was eye candy.
Yeah.
I liked the Purge 3.
And I haven't seen the TV show either. Tabato's thoughts. Ali Hamwood says Tabato's thoughts on Ends worst Halloween in my opinion. Ooh, that's a loaded question.
Really quick, Brandon, look at this. Urban Legend 3, directed by Mary Lambert and written by Michael Dougherty of Krampus Trick or Treat fame. This is what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's why I said 0% chance. I didn't know that, by the way, but that's why I said 0% chance you don't watch that film and say, this is easily my favorite Urban Legend film.
Yeah. That's pretty insane. I didn't think he was doing stuff for horror back then. Because that was still the 90s, right? Or no?
Early 2000s, if memory serves.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Oh, Ali with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Tabato, thoughts on Ends, worst Halloween in my opinion. Go ahead, Brandon.
I don't know. The question is, what movies are better than Ends? 1 is better, 2 is better,
how about
3 is better,
4 is better,
4 is better, 5 is better. It's better. I'm sorry. Halloween 5 is better than Ends. 6 is better. H2O is better. Rob Zombie 1 and 2 is better. 2018 is better. Kills is better. The question is Resurrection better than Ends?
What does better mean?
Better story.
Time out. LA Jewel, how are you? He says Halloween 5 is worse than Ends. Here's the thing. You say it's better. Now, Brandon, I want you to explain something to me. Better how? Are we talking? Because here's the thing. You can't look me in the face. And I'm not arguing with you. I'm simply playing devil's advocate because this is a show and we got to make this entertaining. You can't tell me that the production quality of 5 is anywhere near the level of Ends. So obviously that's not what you're thinking of or worried about, right? In terms of the movie.
Here's why Halloween 5 is better than Ends. Halloween 5 has a thick atmosphere that Ends does not. Ends has no atmosphere. Halloween 5 has an actual formidable Michael Myers where Ends does not. Kills had a formidable Michael Myers. Halloween 5 has Tina, which I get is obnoxious and annoying to a lot of people, but at least she's not Corey.
I call it personality, for God's sake.
Yeah.
She's a teenage broad. What do you want her to do about it? Just
Halloween
sit there
5
and just talk and have no dialogue and be boring. And
Ends had a multi-million-dollar budget. Halloween 5 looks better. We've all said this before. Halloween 5 feels, plays, and looks like a giallo film. I like the cinematography better than Ends. I like everything about 5 better than Ends. Even though it's not, a high quality Halloween film, I think it's better than Ends.
Brandon, I will say this: Halloween 5 and 4 on 4K truly look like major motion pictures now.
Yeah.
Because to bring up I'm not trying to single out L.A. Jewel, but just because he said it again, he goes 5 is the Hallmark movie, of the franchise. I totally agree with you in terms of the way the movie looks, but those 5Ks, those 4Ks, man, those are 35 millimeter films, man.
Halloween
They look
5
great.
also has Donald Pleasance.
I love that people are
Ends does
calling you
not.
dirty money in the chat now. It's catching on. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that Ends on top, or 5 on top of everything else, has Donald Pleasance, where Ends does not. Ends is fucking trash. That's what it is. I think Ends
Yeah,
is trash.
yeah. I'm still middle of the road on it. It's
I think Resurrection's fucking trash too, and I think I might rather watch Resurrection than Ends. At least Resurrection. Well, yeah. Ends is a fucking.
Can I be honest with you about something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd rather watch 5 twice than watch Resurrection and Ends.
I agree.
Here's the thing about 5, and it's funny. I'm doing these episodes. It's hard out here for a pimp, Brandon, because if you're a Halloween 5 fan, it's difficult to get your voice heard and not be made fun of, because I'm doing these really fun videos and people seem to really dig them. And give me a thumbs up if you've been liking these videos in the chat. I've been doing these videos on taking movies and looking over a lot of the old school home video formats.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did 1989, and I naturally just I'm ending them with Freddy because he's the king, obviously, to me anyway. I don't want to start any shit. So I did Jason Takes Manhattan and had a blast with that. Then we did Halloween 5.
Mm.
And there was this comment that I got, and I feel bad for the poor guy. He goes, "Hey, Christian, I just wanted to say, I really liked Halloween 5 after you kind of talked about, looking at the film through a different lens and looking at it as this Italian movie, and I heard you talk about that, and I always try to give you credit because I heard you say it first. I thought about it. I genuinely thought about it, but when I heard you say it, I said to myself, okay, I'm not crazy. And I gave him a heart on the comment. I thought it was a sweet comment. It made me feel really good. And of course, the poor guy gets comments right after that. That's stupid. You can't look at the film and it through its own lens. It's part of a franchise. You're wrong. And it's hard for these kids, it's hard being a Halloween fan, man, and being a real Halloween fan. I'm talking to really like these movies and not be afraid to say, no, there's something there with Halloween 5. You get shut down by it.
Yeah. And I can't stand these people that say shit like that, where you can't look at them as individual films. You have to watch them as a franchise. I'm like, they exist as individual films.
Yeah.
I hate that. I fucking cannot stand that argument.
Well, this is what I said too, because I said this. So when I did the next episode on Dream Child, I said, look, guys, don't watch Dream Child in a marathon. I literally because you know how I am with Elm Street. I literally couldn't help myself. So when I did the episode for Elm Street, I have to talk about the movie a little bit. And I was like, guys, listen, and thank you. I see the chats. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the episodes. I said, no. Like, don't watch The Dream Child after watching 2, 3, 4. Don't marathon it. Just take The Dream Child, pull it out, and have a fresh pair of eyes ready to go. And you're going to see. And look, Brandon, you may not agree with this. To me, it's no contest in terms of those 3 films, in terms of what they have to offer. Don't get me wrong. I love Jason Takes Manhattan. It's got something neither of them have, and that's this unequivocal charm that cannot be matched. And Halloween 5 is great. But I think when you take the 3 films and you look at them objectively, you're going to see that The Dream Child has bombastic special effects, some gorgeous stop motion stuff, pushes the envelope in a lot of ways. The production is about the same as it would be on Manhattan and stuff, but I think that Stephen Hopkins was able to take that dollar and stretch it really well in terms of that movie, where Jason Takes Manhattan, it was the highest budgeted Friday up to that point, but all the money went to shooting in Manhattan for a day.
Mm-hmm.
2 days, excuse me. So I think when you look at the films subjectively, you're going to see that The Dream Child has the most to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And some may not agree with that. To me, to me, that's how I feel. But I was like, no, like literally take this movie and just watch it by itself, because if you go and watch 2, 3, 4, you're gonna say to yourself, "Oh my god, like this 5 is." But if you, it's just take it by itself and watch it, and you'll see what I'm saying. 5 has a lot to offer. So, and I actually saw some people say, "You know what? I'll take you up on that. I'm gonna watch it by itself." And some people said, "Hey, you know what? I never really talked about. I gave Dream Child much thought, but there's something there. I think you. I agree with you." So that's why I say yes. You can look at the films individually in a sense, because they are. There's only one Halloween 5. There's not 2 of them. There's only one Jason Takes Manhattan. There's not a Jason Takes Manhattan 2. You know, so that's how I look at it, and that's how I feel about those films. They're all very unique in their own right. You know.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of those franchises for sure. And that's something I feel we're missing a little bit today with some of these big franchise. Going back to talking about franchises, some of the films just feel the damn same. They do. Where you look at Elm Street, dude, you're not confusing Freddy's Revenge with the Dream Master.
Yeah, no. And to that point, as much as we like the Saw franchise, you could confuse those films for one another, because
4,
they
5,
take
and
place
6
in
all
this.
take.
Yeah,
Not only
right.
it's the same. It's just. It's all that franchise was kept in the family, which I do respect that big time in a way, right? Because if you were assistant on the first movie, then the next movie you're bumped up to grip, and then you're bumped up to assistant director, and then you're bumped up to script supervisor, and then all of a sudden you're directing the 6th one. That's beautiful, and I love that. But they all have this. They all start to feel.
Yeah.
And so that's good and that's bad. That's good and that's bad. That's bad for creating cult fan bases for individual films, I think. Whereas you'll see people that adore Nightmare 3. Nightmare 2 doesn't do it for me. I don't like the vibe of that one. Or you'll see people that'll say, no. I love the fact that Freddy's dead. You can't mistake it for any. I love that it's a cartoon. You don't really see that with Saw. And you really don't see that with Paranormal either.
No, as much as I like Saw and I love the episodic nature of those films, I think they're intended to be kind of seen as one film, maybe, because everything does take place so close to one another in the story. But you're right. The Halloween films, the Friday films, the Nightmare films too, those movies all have their own language. Every single film has its own print.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of it too. I love that. I really do. Especially Friday. We can't exclude Friday, with the exception of 1 and 2. You know, they feel very similar, which I got to say, I love the feel of Sean's first film. It's so fucking spooky, you know, but 2 feels the same. 2 feels the same for sure.
I would love to find somebody, I guess specifically maybe the Nightmare franchise, somebody who's maybe seen, for whatever reason, they come into the franchise seeing the Dream Child. It's their first Nightmare film. And then they go back and watch 1, 2, 3, 4 to catch up and see what they think about it. See how different their perspective is on it. Because that'd be a really weird movie to jump into. And technically you could, if you wanted to.
Right.
Because the movies are always kind of explained at the beginning anyway. You can catch up very easily. It'd be so strange to meet somebody who saw 5 first, or Freddy's Dead first.
Yes. Oh, dude. It'd be nutty. Thank you, Ali. He gave us a $10 super chat. God bless, man. Ali says, how do you feel about a Halloween film taking place between part 1 and parts 2? Movie will end with Myers staring at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Flashback scene from Kills led me to believe it's possible.
Yeah. We were going to do a fan film involving that story, about like an in-between film between part 1 and 2. But the problem with that is we already see what happens between 1 and 2, because we see him traveling through the neighborhood to get to the hospital, right? So there have to be some kind of subplot where, I don't know what would happen. He gets maybe some kind of rogue cop spots him, and there's some kind of like hour-long chase sequence before he gets to the hospital that we just don't see between 1 and 2. There had to be some kind of subplot that doesn't walk on the steps of his trip from the Doyle house to the hospital. Because we basically see that whole journey in Halloween 2, right? So how you would do that, I don't really know. It would be interesting though.
Would you? What if? Are we going to keep them brother and sister or not?
Yes. I would.
Okay.
Wouldn't you? I mean, isn't that? I mean,
Well, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily against them not being brother and sister, but guess what? If they're not, new story. Move on. What if Myers never heard that kid on the radio with the radio, and he was just trapped? Where was he going beforehand?
yeah.
But then again, if that was his sister still, that means he's going to find Lori without
Mhm.
question. What if they weren't brother and sister, and he just goes somewhere?
Yeah,
I've never
exactly.
been. Look, it's not that I've ever been against brother and sister. It's the fact that what they did with these last movies, all of it makes no sense. The farther I get away from the Blumhouse trilogy, the more I say to myself, you've got to be kidding me.
Exactly.
You know, we're going to do something different, guys, and there's no more brother and sister angle. And I hear this, I say to myself, okay, this is going to be great. Where's Michael going? What's he going to be doing? Who's he going after now? Oh, no. Jamie Lee's in it.
God damn it. We're gonna get off on a fucking tirade about ends again. I can see
I
it
don't, I
right
know.
now.
I don't
But
want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I have to just say one time, kills rocked my socks off. I'm so pissed off that ends is ends. You know what I mean? Like the fact that I mean, God damn it.
Guess what, Brandon? Not only will Michael be back, I'm reading some of these. And by the way, guys, I will be reading another chapter of Taking Shape 2. Brandon, did you see the episode I did about the Unmade Halloween 7 straight-to-video movie?
Yes, I did.
Thoughts on that story? Good, bad, indifferent to it?
Refresh my memory though. So in that story, he was
In the story, we start with a couple of kids getting babysitted, and the babysitter gets killed upstairs when she's on the phone. We don't see who kills them.
Mm.
This detective character comes into the picture, and he says it's got to be Myers. Now, Myers had never been found after the events of Halloween 5 or whatever, because guess what happens? No, after the events of Halloween 6, excuse me. Michael is now on his own, and the detective tries to go figure out where Myers is, and he finds out that Myers is in prison. Goes and sees him in solitary. Well, after this scene happens, they have a new person they think could be the killer, and it's this guy who's obsessed with Myers, and he's a magician. And so this guy is a suspect, but the detective finds out that the guy that they thought could have killed after this event happens, there's more killings in the town in this town near Haddonfield. But they find out that this magician guy was actually in prison at the same time too, so he couldn't have done these killings that just happened.
Mm.
And while all this happens, Myers somehow fakes his own death in the site in the sanitarium. And when he gets transported by ambulance, he breaks out of the ambulance same way he does in 4, or at the morgue rather. And so Myers is actually on the loose now too. But what ends up happening is this character that they this magician Myers fanatic guy, it's a little confusing to explain, but if you watch the episode, the story is makes perfect sense, but trying to recollect it in my head is a little messed up. But long story short, there's a copycat killer and Myers both on the loose killing. And now the cops are like, what the hell is going on? It couldn't have been you because there's this killing going on, but what happens is the detective takes this magician Myers fanatic and takes him with him to help track down Myers because he thinks he's this innocent guy now. So there's killings happening, but this guy is with him, so he knows that this Myers fanatic's not the one doing it. So Myers is killing people, but then there's other times where this copycat's doing it, and everything comes to a head in the final scene, and Myers escapes on the loose still while this magician guy gets revealed that he was, in fact, the guy who killed the babysitter in the very beginning of the movie. It's a little confusing to explain, but if you watch that video, the story, I read it, and it makes perfect sense. I promise to God. So it was this copycat movie, but Myers is still this force. So I actually thought it read pretty good. All new characters, totally new characters. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have been down with it. I think I could have been down with it. I just wish we could do the whole Blumhouse thing over again. I do.
Yeah,
You know what? 2 words. Halloween Returns.
yeah, true.
That would have been the movie. That would have
Yep.
been it. That would have been it, guys.
It's but whatever. I'm glad the Blumhouse era is over. At least we're through it, and we can look forward to something else.
Blu-ray Addict says, when I think of Jason, I think of Part 7. When you think of Jason, Brandon, you think of Jason Takes Manhattan.
Jason Takes Manhattan's the scariest.
You think of Part 6.
6, I think, is what I think of first. Yeah.
I think of when I say Jason, it's honestly different every day. My first one. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It really is. When I think of Freddy, though, hands down, the devil from Part 2 is
Yeah.
everything that comes to my head.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Say what you're gonna say.
I was saying I need to go through those. I haven't gone through those this year. I'm not even sure if I watched them last year, the Nightmare films. I'm excited to watch those again. I'm going to review those too this year, I think.
Please do.
I love going through that fucking franchise, man.
Yeah.
Because again, as much as I love Halloween and Friday, there's always
nothing like
something new you
Nightmare.
find in Nightmare movies.
Dude, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's my heart and soul, man. I love it. Better Part 7, Halloween H2O, New Nightmare, or The New Blood?
New Blood. And I fucking love Demon Freddy and New Nightmare, but I think New Blood's probably better than H2O and New Nightmare.
That's a great question.
Dr. Cruz, man.
He's my favorite non-Jason character. I gotta go New Blood as well. It looks like people are all saying New Blood. Blu-ray Addict says, Christian, do you remember when Jamie Lee Curtis said Halloween Kills was a masterpiece?
It was, though.
I'm
I'm alone in that, I know, but fucking Kills was fucking fantastic.
Verk says, I don't understand why the Halloween plot has to get so mucked up. Really, all we wanted to see is a simple slasher story of Myers stalking Haddonfield. I don't even need to be Haddonfield, Berg. I really don't. I don't get hung up on locations. You know what I mean?
I just hate the need to inject all this fucking poetry into these Halloween films. Like, oh, the evil is passed on to the town, and they're just trying to show that evil can infect other people. That's why Corey is so important. I'm like, I fucking just roll my eyes at that shit. I'm like, why? Why do we need that in a fucking Halloween film?
I hear you. I hear you. I like these questions, guys. Keep them coming. Dream Master comes to mind when I think of Freddy. I hear you on that. CHH, I've had Children of the Night in my head all day. Hell yeah. I think New Blood was the agreement. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people said New Blood.
Dude, New Blood is a fucking smash hit with the Friday the 13th fans, man.
You remember what we talked about, though? I still feel this way. It's missing this one ingredient that 4, 5, 6, and 8 have, and that is a killer song.
Yeah.
And we've agreed that Wasp would have been the band to have a song for Part 7.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic. We also talked about how serious a film and how dark a tone that movie at least tried to be, right? Compared to Part 6 and 5. Like Part 7 was a very serious, dark film. At least it seemed like it was trying to be. Like it was not funny. None of Tina's issues were funny. Dr. Cruz, as much as we like the character, he was not funny. He was a fucking devious asshole.
He was a great character.
It's just a mean-spirited film. But do you think because the teens, well, the excuse me, the young adults who are supposed to be teenagers, like the asshole. What the hell's the asshole chick's name? God damn it. What the hell's her name in the film? The blonde girl who was a real dickhead to Tina.
Her real name was Susan Blue, but her character's name was it Tina?
No, Tina was the main chick.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The kids next door, the party kids, especially the guy like who's I'm Star Mummy. They were cool characters, but they were so goofy once we got around them that I think it kind of took away from the violent, serious tone the movie was going for. Like if they hadn't injected those characters with so much like
Melissa.
goofiness. Yeah, it could.
Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. It could have been so much. I don't know. Do you think it would have been better if they went full dark, full serious?
I don't know, man. It really is hard to say. It's hard to say. I my gut instinct would be to agree with that though. I think that going a little bit darker would have been better. Again, Wasp would have just fit perfectly in that bill. I can't stress that enough. But I like the movie. I really do.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Mike Mac, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. If you guys could only watch one, would you watch the entire first season of the Crystal Lake series or the next theatrical Friday movie?
Theatrical.
You're not even gonna think about it?
No.
I'm gonna have to agree. Jason, dude, how much do you salivate at the idea of throwing on Brandon one of your Walmart Friday the 13th tees that I know you have? Going up there, getting a large popcorn, dousing it in butter.
No. Getting a box of Milk Duds and filling the box with butter.
Wait up, wait. Ew, Milk Duds and butter?
Yes.
Wait up, whoa. You put butter on Milk Duds?
It's a real thing. Listen to me. We all saw it on The Simpsons when we were kids. We tried it. It works. I promise. Just don't hold the box over your lap while you're eating it in the theater. Listen to me. The next time you're at the theater, buy a box of Milk Duds or sneak them in and go to the hot butter and drizzle it all into the box of Milk Duds. It is the best thing you'll ever have in your life.
I know,
I
scratch
promise.
burnout. I've never heard of this.
I promise.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like Milk Duds covered in delicious butter. And it's fantastic.
Can you compare it to something?
No, I can't.
I can't wait to tell Sydney about this. So that will be your snack of choice for the next Friday the 13th.
I'm salivating right now over
Dude,
buttered Milk Duds.
People are confused. What kind of soda do you go with butter duds?
Cherry Coke.
Cherry?
For sure.
Let me get this straight. Cherry Coke, chocolate milk duds.
Is there a better drink at the theater than Cherry Coke?
I that's a hard sell, I guess. You know what?
Fuck, I want some buttered Milk Duds.
Let me see if she'll answer. This is hysterical to me. All right, hold on. All right, guys, I'm calling Sydney. She's in the living room, but I'm calling Sydney. All right, Sydney, you're live on the air. I just want to get your reaction to something, if that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so Brandon, we're talking about, somebody asked a question, if a Friday the 13th movie comes out and the TV show comes out, we can only watch one, what would we pick? And we both said we would prefer to watch the next movie at the theater as opposed to watching the show on TV. And I was like, Brandon, can you imagine the idea of getting to the theater and getting in line to get your large popcorn and going sitting and seeing a new Friday the 13th movie? And he stops me and he goes, absolutely not. I'm getting Milk Duds and I'm covering them in hot butter.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
So,
Milk duds aren't good to begin with.
you don't. Oh, you said say that again.
Milk duds aren't even good to begin with.
Brandon says they're a good snack. This is Brandon's snack: Milk Duds covered in hot butter.
Well, not when I'm at home. It's only a theater thing. I don't just like go buy Milk Duds and microwave butter at home.
So you get, but this is what he said. He goes to the theater. He gets Milk Duds, covers them in hot butter. He said he covers them, pours hot butter on them, and then drinks a cherry Coke.
Into the box.
Now, Sydney, if you saw somebody at the theater doing this.
Homer Simpson did it first, and it works, I promise. There's got to be somebody else in this fucking chat who does hot buttered Milk Duds.
You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry, that was Brandon talking. But
Okay.
I think we got your reaction, though. You think it's gross.
I mean, it doesn't sound appetizing, but I'd like to get popcorn and put like peanut M&Ms in the popcorn. So, I mean, it's not that much better, I guess.
I would meet you that way. I think peanut butter M&Ms mixing popcorn sounds good. All right, so I'll let you go. I'll see you in a little bit. I just wanted to get you. People wanted your reaction.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right.
So Brandon, the wife has spoken. She's not a fan. She said she didn't like Milk Duds.
Shannon doesn't like him either. I don't think women like Milk Duds for some reason.
Well, your wife is a very intelligent person.
Yes.
So wait up. Why, if you love it so much, why won't you get the Milk Duds at the house?
I could. I just don't think about getting Milk Duds from the store.
Well, do you?
I could do the next live chat. I will have hot buttered Milk Duds on here.
You realize now that I'm clipping this for a short.
That's fine.
On my
That's
channel.
Fine. You guys need to go try it. I promise you will fucking love it.
Now, Brandon, do you get the bottle? It's called theater butter, and it's like a liquid thing. It's a bottle. So if you get a bag of popcorn, which I see you eat popcorn at the house, if you get the bag of popcorn, hey, do you have the plastic popcorn buckets?
No.
You go to Bed Bath and Beyond and get them. They're cheap, like $5. You can get a little one, and it's like a plastic bucket that says, it's got popcorn, it's yellow, it's got the art on it. You can get a medium and a big one. We've got all three sizes, and we put our popcorn in that, and then you get a bottle it's called theater butter, and then you literally just pour it on, and it's like that hot butter, exactly what you're talking about. Like, it comes out in liquid form, and it is identical.
Yeah.
It tastes delicious.
Yeah, you know what you need to try is the next time you guys make homemade popcorn. Do you guys make just the microwave popcorn, or you make it on the stove with kernels and shit?
Sometimes I'll do it on the stove, sometimes with a bucket, but I also have a popcorn machine.
Yeah, those are the old school ones where those things are awesome. The next time you make popcorn, make it with just the kernels, add your salt in there after it's finished, and instead of shaking it up with that popcorn butter oil stuff you're talking about, use some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil and salt, it'll change your life. I swear to Christ. Shanna, tell them about the grapeseed oil.
I was highly confused the first time I saw him do it, Joe. Oh, man. Well, Brandon, what other snacks do you like that are weird? Okay. Did your snack taste buds change as you got older? When I was a kid, you every time I went to the theater, it was snow caps.
Snow caps were the shit.
But I don't eat them. I don't crave snow caps anymore.
I haven't had them in a long time. They hurt your teeth now, man. They have those like rock hard white fucking sprinkles on them. They're hard to eat now.
Yeah.
With old man teeth.
And they're chewy. I wouldn't call them gummy. They're chewy, and they're shaped like cones without the base part at the bottom.
You're talking about they're not jujubes. They're goddamn, they're kind of, I know what you're talking about. They're really tough to chew.
But they're
called
good.
They're not called jujubes.
Come on,
I know
somebody
exactly
in the
what you're
chat.
talking about. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Come on, somebody in the chat.
I'm gonna find it. I love them too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dots.
No, not dots.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. Yeah, dots are the shit.
Dots.
But I
they're
thought
not
you were
shaped like
talking
dots.
about.
They're almost shaped like cones.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about. Where are they at?
Okay, so Shanna has spoken. She does approve of the grapeseed oil.
Dude, it's so good. I can't even explain the flavor. It's just fantastic. It's like super savory, fantastic popcorn.
But Sean got it. Dots is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, dots are fantastic. Have you had the Black Crows, which is like all black licorice dots?
No.
That'll flip your lunch tray.
This is the best comment I've seen all night. LA Jewel says people here in South Carolina take whole buckets of chicken into the theater. Brandon, could you imagine some slop tart next to you just sucking on a chicken leg while you're trying to watch a movie?
I can't imagine that. Unfortunately.
Was Florida any worse? Like, do people in Florida have like fried alligator in the movie theater?
No.
Oh,
Well, probably.
Speaking of fried alligator, do you eat fried alligator?
I like gator tail here and there. I don't really eat it very often, but we have a place about 40 minutes from here, maybe at like 30 minutes, called Lone Cabbage. And they have fucking fantastic buttery gator tail bites. It's awesome. The last time we had gator tail was at a place at the port, and it was good, but not that good.
Yeah.
And then Isabella threw up all over me and Shanna. That's my most vivid memory connected to gator tail bites recently.
Damn.
So yeah. Do you like gator tail?
I love gator. I love
Yeah.
fried gator. There's some restaurants by me it's called Shane Seafood. They're so popular now. There's like 5 locations. They're not in my hometown, but so good. Did you say you weren't a big seafood person?
Yeah, I'm not really. I like I guess I like cod because I like fish sandwiches from McDonald's and fish sticks and shit, if that counts. But yeah, no. Well, that's not true. Salmon is good here and there. Popcorn shrimp, the most unhealthy seafood you can get, is pretty good here and there. But other than that, I'm not really a huge seafood guy. No, I'm not a fan of crab legs or lobster, shellfish. I don't like oysters or any of that crap. So yeah, I'm not a seafood guy.
Brandon, tell me you don't love this idea of the Tubi Theater. It's a movie theater you go to. Ticket prices are really cheap. They're like $2 to $3 a ticket because you're going to get ad breaks in the movie because it's a Tubi movie theater. So you have time to get up and go take a piss when ads come on. But when you go to the Tubi Theater, the concession stands is nothing but practical stuff. So if you go to the Tubi Theater, you can buy some cinnamon Pop-Tarts. All the Cokes and drinks and sodas come in cans. You get them in cans. You can get a bowl of cereal. They give you a little plastic bowl, and you get those little square boxes. I'm sure you've gotten some for your kid. You can get the variety packs. You can get Corn Pops, Fruit Loops.
Is this a real place?
No, it's my idea.
Oh, it's your idea. Okay.
It's my idea of the Tubi Theater. I think it's a brilliant idea because people always complain about movies being so long, then you go to the bathroom. And I'm like, Tubi needs to get in a theater game and have Tubi branded movie theaters where they actually have ad breaks in the movies. That way people can get up and go take a piss.
Yeah.
Let's see. Blu-ray Addict says, what's your favorite beer?
1664 Blanc.
The hell is that?
It'll change your life. It's a white beer.
Well,
I don't get it very often, but it's fantastic.
What is a white beer?
It's a really weird kind of beer. I guess I'm not really sure what makes it a white beer or not. I think it's a French beer, but it's called 1664 Blanc, BLANC. Not to be confused with regular 1664 beer, because that stuff's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But Blanc is clean, very citrusy. You don't feel like weighed down or bloated. It's just a fantastic fucking beer. And it's so easy to drink, you'll be trashed in no time, but it's pretty expensive. It's like 10 or 12 bucks for a 6-pack, which I guess isn't that bad. But
yeah,
really cool looking blue bottles that it comes in. It's fantastic. If you can find 1664 Blanc, it'll change your life. I promise. That's probably my favorite beer.
I don't know what my favorite beer is. Hard cider is different, right? It's really not beer, is it?
Well, I don't know.
Because
It's
I can tell you this: Angry Orchards are delicious, and I love them.
yeah.
But if I drink a beer, I love Coors Light. I love Coors Light. That's like my favorite one. I'm not big on Miller. I'm not big on. Actually, I'm a wine guy too. I love me some white wine, some red wine. I can drink a bottle of Moscata like nobody's business, but anybody really can. Tastes like fruit punch, damn near. But yeah, I love those Angry Orchards, dude. Purple Haze. I like Purple Haze. But I gotta try some of this exotic stuff. Do you ever go to a store like it's called World Market? Do you ever go to a place like that and get some of those
Yeah.
crazy beers?
Yeah, we have a World Market not too far from us. We go to not often as we used to, but it's a cool fucking store. I used to get beer from there all the time, but they got really pricey. But it's good if you want to try stuff. But we also have the what the fuck is it called? Total Wine, I think it's called. It's a store of nothing but like spirits, liquor, beer, and they have beers from all over the world. You can buy them one bottle, one can at a time.
Right. They give you you can get like a
Yeah.
6-pack thing and you can fill
And
it
it's
up.
expensive to do that shit, but at least you're trying new stuff, man. But yeah.
Do you ever get some of those like Iron Maiden beers or things like that? You see like the Trooper beer? Like I see that all the time. Sometimes I saw a Motorhead beer.
I feel like I've tried a couple of those in the past, and they've always been disappointing.
Yeah.
So I've started to stay away from like the IP stuff. Like I tried a Game of Thrones ale that my friend had once, and I was like, this is garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever damn it, what was I gonna say? I had a question for you. Oh no, it's completely off topic. Are you a concert guy? Or do you
I
have
am.
any bands you like to go see?
Yeah. Not as much as I used to.
What's the last concert you went to?
The last concert, was Kiss in September. That was the last one.
And how was that? I never got to really talk to you about that. How was it?
It was fantastic. Obviously, I hadn't seen Kiss before that since 2009, so it was the first time I was seeing them in quite a while. And there was the whole, obviously the lip syncing fiasco that's been going around, and I was really disappointed at the prospect of seeing Stanley up there lip sync because he's my hero. You know what I mean?
Well, he had one of the greatest voice. There's no denying his range in the 80s.
I think he's probably my favorite singer from that era. You know what I mean? But anyways,
well, how was the show? Was he?
The show was fantastic. I couldn't find any evidence of him lip syncing at all. I was seeing, and this could have all been staged in the act to make it appear like he wasn't lip syncing, but I saw mishaps, errors. I saw the jolt of him getting off of the foot thing when he was doing Love Gun, and his voice kind of skipped a little bit as he got down because he kind of got down rough onto the little platform. Like I heard the imperfections happening with his body movements and stuff. So again, if they had all that stuff worked into a recorded track, that's impressive. But I couldn't find, I'm like, maybe he was and he's not anymore, because he did sound very hoarse at the end of the show. Like he had been singing. And
you know what I think happened? He was in fact lip syncing at the start of the tour. I think it was going wrong. There's some videos you could see of Eric Singer kicking into Psycho Circus too fast, and that at the beginning hits, and I think there was enough mishaps where they just said, no, we can't do this. So I think he might have just stopped it. But I don't know if you're a musician or not, but you can clearly tell that they've down-tuned their songs so the vocal range is easier to do.
Yeah, Gene Simmons still sounded fantastic. You can tell he's not having problems.
Voice.
He's not having problems at all. But it's
because I'm a war machine.
That fucking killer show, man. I wish I can go back and relive that again.
I had tickets to see him in Lafayette, but COVID hit. They still haven't rescheduled that show. But what
go ahead.
No, I was going to say no, you go ahead, because I was going to change the subject.
It was just about the lip singing thing real quick. I think if he was going to use backing tracks, I know this is off topic from horror discussion, but if he was going to use backing tracks, and was upfront about it, saying, "Look, we all know my voice is going to shit. We're going to use backing vocals behind my actual singing to aid me and make the concert better for you." If they had come out and said that, that would have been fine. Everybody would have been like, "That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. I'll pay money to go see that." But I think the fact that the whole band talked shit about that kind of stuff for so many years and then did it and then denied it kind of fucks up the illusion and fucks up the integrity of that argument a little bit.
You know who did exactly what you just said too? Blackie Lawless from Wasp. He goes, "I'm singing into a live mic, but I have pre-recorded backing vocals in, and to aid to make it sound more like the record live."
And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be upfront about it, or don't deny it when it happens. That's fine.
So I'm going to see my hero again, and I'm so excited. He's coming to me, coming less than an hour from me in May.
Cooper?
Alice Cooper's coming.
He was with Rob Zombie, right?
No, this is before he jumps on that tour.
Oh, okay.
This is called the Too Close for Comfort tour. So Alice Cooper is doing a small theater tour. He's coming to he's doing like 20 dates in early summer, spring. He's doing 20 dates in amphitheaters and stuff, and it's by himself. The funny thing is, him and Zombie are going to be in Dallas again, and near me by me in May, at the Dos Equis Pavilion. Brent, it's this gorgeous outdoor arena. It's this half outdoor arena, like it's not a building, but there's this massive roof over the stage, and it's shaped like a diamond. And so there are seats under, but the sides are open. So it's like
that sounds like the amphitheaters we have here. Exactly the same.
It's a beautiful. The Dos Equis Arena is this amphitheater is beautiful, but I'm seeing him at an indoor theater, an hour away from me, or less than an hour away from me, and it's this theater built in the 50s, and it's beautiful. It's there's the rows of seats. There is those small opera style sections on the side. And I've got the front row on the balcony.
Oh, shit. Nice. Middle.
So I get to see the whole show. Ever since Kane Roberts came back in the band, which was, he did the records from the 80s when he got out of the Blackout era, when he came back with Constrictor. Kane Roberts, who did Constrictor, Raise Your Fist and Yell, and some work on Trash. He's back in the band. I've watched some videos of the latest shows. Alice has been playing Man Behind the Mask in his sets, and I saw Alice once already. He did not play Man Behind the Mask. He didn't really veer off and do any deep cuts. But this was the Motley Crue tour when they were retiring back in 2014,
right?
Which they were terrible. Actually, no, they weren't terrible. The band was great, but Vince Neil sounded disgusting.
Yeah, I've seen those videos.
Yeah, it was bad. They purposely didn't bring his vocals over the mix of the band because they didn't want the crowd to hear how he sounded. And Alice still sounds amazing. It's insane how a 75-year-old man moves like he's 30. From when I saw him in a arena, I was far away from him, and I can't make out his face, obviously, because I'm that far away, but you could see his body. You wouldn't know that guy at the time was in his late 60s. He moves like he's my age.
Yeah.
But that's what he's done his whole life. So the fact that I get to see Alice Cooper probably deliver what's going to be the best show I'm ever going to see in my life again, because the first time I saw him was the best. I'm just so excited. So
that's fucking killer.
May is going to be a crazy month. I got Alice Cooper, and then the next weekend I go to Texas Frightmare.
Oh, nice.
And it's at they got a huge convention center for it now. So I was going to go to Scarefest again, but me and Sydney talked about it. We're putting all of our chips in Texas Frightmare this year. So we're going to go to that. And brand new arena, amazing guest lineup. I get to finish my Return of the Living Dead 2 lineup as much as I can because James Caron passed away. But I get to see Suzanne Snyder is going to be there. So I'm going to put as you can see there's my autographs right there for Return of the Living Dead 2. I got, who do I got there? The sister, the older sister. Then I got the kid. And then I got Tom Matthews right there. So now I get to have Suzanne Snyder, and I'll have my Return of the Living Dead 2 autographs. So I'm super excited to finish that off.
Nick's in the chat. What's up, Nick?
Oh, shit. Is he?
He is.
See him. Robert
He said-
Cummings, actually. Oh, hey, what's up, Nick?
Nick
Robert
said something
Cummings.
about he
Robert
doesn't like
Bartlett
Halloween
Cummings.
Ends anymore.
Oh, bullshit. He's just trolling.
I think he prefers kills over ends. I agree, Nick. Kills is better than ends.
I went to the stadium concert in San Antonio, and it was so much fun. Motley Crue definitely wasn't best, but Joan Jett, Poison, and Def Leppard was awesome. Joan Jett's probably kick ass.
I'm dying for another concert, man. Kiss have you got me riled up about concerts now because Alice Cooper is going on tour with Zombie, and I've seen Zombie 3 or 4 times at festivals. He's not the greatest live, but you love seeing him. It's fun as shit. But I really want to see Cooper. I wonder if those dates are coming to my town. I'm gonna check that shit right now.
You know, it's funny when I saw Zombie. I've seen Zombie twice now. The first time I saw him was in 2010. Then I saw him a few years later, where Marilyn Manson came out and with his big fat ass, gagging on stage because he's drunk with his big dumb stupid ass. And I say that out of love because I love Manson's music. The Pale Emperor is one of my favorite records ever.
Oh, fantastic.
So you agree? I mean, here's
Yes.
the thing, Brandon. If you listen to Manson's discography as an artist, musically, he keeps maturing and he keeps maturing. And The Pale Emperor is this really great, mature sounding Manson record. The Mistopheles of Los Angeles is just this beautiful song. It's very intelligent. Third Day on a 7-Day Binge, a song talking about the shit he's going. Like, dude, this album is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's smart. It's mature. It's great. And people weren't ready for it. So what happens after that? I Know Where You Effing Live comes out after that. And I said, I can't believe it. I was so devastated that he went back to trying to make Antichrist Superstar again. I don't want it. He was on such a great trajectory for me.
Marilyn Manson, you're talking about the Heaven Upside Down album. I didn't like that album at all.
I hate it.
Came out after it. I didn't like Born Villain before that either. I loved The Pale Emperor and The High End of Low. I thought were 2 of his best records in a long fucking time.
Dude, thank God. You're the only person I've ever seen who actually knows that album exists. The song that Johnny Depp was on that record is great too. Dude.
Let me look that up real quick. Which song was it? Don't tell me what it was. Let me look it up. You're talking about High End of Low, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I fucking love that album.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Johnny Depp, where's he at?
His sound was maturing, and it was, dude, it's great stuff. But I thought that The Pale Emperor was the culmination.
Fantastic.
Like, Deep Six is such a great opening track.
Dude, that shit, I can't believe they had Killing Strangers and John Wick. That shit fucking rocked the house, man.
Dude.
That song.
Oh, John Wick 4. Are you ready for John Wick 4?
I am. I hope it's better than 3. I liked 3. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was a little bit draggy, if I'm being honest. 3 dragged a little bit, like in the desert sequence and stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, dude,
I hope 4 is more like 1 and 2.
Well, 2023 is going to be a stacked year, and I know that John Wick 4 is going to be stiff competition. I think there's enough time has gone by. They know that they have to raise the stakes to make it.
I hope they make 100 more of those fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I hope Reeves continues this trend because I'm so glad he's like taking over Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's surprising too. I can't believe he's one of the guys taking over right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Sure. Absolutely. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Cooper. I'm really kind of retired on going to concerts, to be honest with you. I'm an old grumpy man. I don't like loud sounds, but there's some people that changed my life, and Alice Cooper is one of them. So,
well, he's coming to West Palm Beach and Tampa in August, 2 days in a row. I can go see him and Rob Zombie 2 nights in a row if I really wanted to.
Dude, you got to go see Cooper, man.
I need to see him before he croaks for sure.
He ain't going nowhere. Don't say that.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Thank you, Afro Will. You're dead too. But yeah, Brandon, man, we're knocking on 2 hours, man. It's just been a really good show. I had a blast tonight.
Damn, it has been 2 hours. Holy shit.
Yeah. We've had a great audience. We're still at 95 strong. God bless, guys. If you haven't dropped a like, seriously, just take the second, I'm begging you. Drop that like. It just helps out the videos. I really appreciate the love. Yeah. So, yeah, I had a great time tonight. I don't know what I was going to say. But, Brandon, what's next on Tabata Vision? You got any videos ready to go already? Or
I have a couple scheduled. I don't want to say what they are because I forgot which one I have first. But I have 2 or 3 scheduled for the week after next, I think. I might release some stuff before then, but I have, if you guys are following my channel, I've been kind of bombarding you guys with all kinds of random shit the last week, and I'll continue to do that before the actual videos drop. So there's not going to be a lull in content. It's just going to get weirder. And by the way, did you see, before we go, Christian, did you see the video I posted of the doll?
Today?
Okay, today.
I
So
have the bell notification on.
the doll is in my garage. I should have brought it for the chat, but there's a really weird story if we got time for it. So yesterday I get home from...
Is it a short?
It's a short.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah, that is not a joke. That's not staged. That's not something I did for the channel at all. Got home. Apparently they found the doll a few feet from the gate, which leads into our acre of land across the street. That doll was just sitting there in the grass. Now, somebody could have thrown it. Somebody could, it could have fallen out of a garbage truck. It could have been some crazy person walking by and tossed it. It could have been kids playing a joke. I don't know, but something really unnerves me about that fucking doll. I'm like,
It's
is this
creepy.
some kind of a weird threat? Is this because I've been fucking with that derelict house next door, that there's people in there and they're kind of telling me to back off? I don't know what that is, but there's something really freaky about it, especially considering the lot, which we call the acre of land, the lot, is where Isabella plays. It's where her swing set is. I'm like, there's something really strange about a burned, deformed Barbie doll with a bunny head glued onto it that I'm really uncomfortable about. That's not made for the channel. That's a legit thing that happened that we found.
That is terrifying. I'm looking at it right now again.
I'm not sure what to make about it yet. It's fucking weird, man. You can't call the cops because I found a weird doll. It's probably something stupid, like I said, some crazy person. Because there's a lot of fucking trash in this neighborhood too. But it's just it's a weird timing / weird coincidence that that doll was at our property, where Isabella's playground is, right across the street from the derelict house, which I've been fucking with lately. Getting closer, you know what I mean, and shining my flashlight into it. And I don't know. It's weird. It's something to think about.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
I just wanted to bring that up because everybody probably thinks it's just for the channel. And I'm like, this is the one thing that's not just for the channel. This is legitimately freaky shit happening right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, God. All right. Well, on that note, yeah, Brandon, what day is it today? Is Wednesday right now or Tuesday?
It is now Thursday here because it's after midnight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready for the weekend. Gonna take it easy. I think we're celebrating like a triple birthday party Sunday. My mom's, my uncle's, and Sydney's. So might just take it easy this weekend. I don't know. Got some magazines I gotta catch up with. Did you ever see my magazine racks? Now look at that. Look at my magazine racks now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I was bummed out. I never found that Scream magazine with the Return of the Living Dead spread on it. I really wanted to, though.
Yeah, I need to go through my Fangorias, man. I got Fangorias from the 90s that, like, my first Fangoria I ever had, I have that. Yeah, I need to do a channel walkthrough of that shit.
Yeah. But, dude, I'm telling you, there's nothing like horror magazines. I love them to death. I love the aesthetic of them. I love being able to display them now in here. And, you know, when I'm waiting for videos to export, like when I film a video and I got to sit there and let iMovie export it so I can put it into... No, iMovie. When I let QuickMovie, because I use QuickMovie to record when I use my stuff, and it takes like 3 minutes. Guess what I do now when I'm sitting there? I usually just sit there. Now I can reach over and grab a magazine and just flip through it, and, you know, kills a couple minutes. So,
yeah,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, guys, I had a blast. Thank y'all for watching. Again, if you haven't dropped a like in the video, please do. You guys were awesome. It's been a hell of a show. I don't have the sticker book of A Nightmare on Elm Street, Scratch Burno. I don't. But we'll see you guys again probably next week. You know, if Brandon's down,
always,
he'll be with me. You guys rule. Have a great night. We're almost to the weekend. Hang in there, guys.